Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beninin, and for today's video we are going to be talking about Tretinoin again, hence why I'm in my robe with no makeup on. Today we're going to be talking about some of the mistakes that I've made while using Tretinoin. As you guys know, I've been on this for about a year, maybe a little bit more at this point, and I have definitely had my fair share of doing things that I probably shouldn't have done that really ended up irritating my skin. So I wanted to share some of that with you guys, so hopefully you can avoid that. Let's jump right into it. First of all, wearing sunscreen. I know. I'm so annoying at this point telling people to wear sunscreen. But if you are on a tretinoin, a retinol, a retinoid, a adapalene, any of that, anything that's really exfoliating your skin, you need to be wearing sunscreen. Remember, one of the things that tretinoin or like retinols and all that are good for is accelerating like cell turnover. So your skin is going to be like losing very thin layers as you go, and that's what's going to help with like the brightness and making your face look more smooth. It's going to help with the acne, the hyperpigmentation, all of that. If I'm out in the sun and I forget to wear sunscreen, I find that my hyperpigmentation looks worse, like worse than it would look without using tretinoin and being out in the sun. So make sure you're wearing a sunscreen. Especially if what you're working on is getting rid of your hyperpigmentation. You're kind of just like canceling all of the good work that your tretinoin is doing if you're gonna be out in the sun without protecting your skin. Probably the biggest like piece of advice I would give to someone who's starting tretinoin, someone in general, is to wear a sunscreen daily and also be more diligent about reapplying it, especially if you're on tretinoin. Another thing that I really screwed up on is not realizing that you probably shouldn't be getting waxed. So I went and got a wax in the beginning of my Tret journey, and I had asked my dermatologist about it, and she said it was fine. She was like, you may just have more irritation in that area that you're getting waxed, but I was like, okay, cool, bet. And I went and got waxed. I got my eyebrows waxed, and that was literally the worst experience I've ever had. I feel like the wax burned off my skin and it was awful. And I did a little bit of Googling. I learned that it may make your face a little bit more irritated, and also like the thinner areas of your skin can feel a little bit more sensitive. So for me, when I first started, I wasn't being very good at making sure that I wasn't putting it on my eye area, because my eye area just can't handle it. So the skin around there was already irritated, first of all, and then secondly, the wax literally felt like it ripped off my skin, and I will never do that again. I never had an issue with that prior to starting tretinoin, and maybe you won't, but I say just skip waxing your face altogether. I would probably say like tweeze the hairs or like pluck, or I go and get threaded now and I don't have any irritation with that. So I would definitely say do not get a wax unless you want to risk ripping off your skin. Okay. And maybe not everybody has that, but that's just what I experienced. My next tip, less is more. I don't know what my issue was. When I first started using tretinoin, I was like my dermatologist literally said, use a pea size amount, the tiniest amount, and that's all you need. My dumb self, I was like, I know better. I'm used to like applying lots and lots of products to my face. That's how I put on moisturizer. I just like glob it on. But I learned that with tretinoin, put a small amount. Literally when they say pea size, let me show you. I hate wasting this, but when they say pea size, they mean pea size. This is it. That's all you need. That amount. Nothing more. So stick to using a very small amount of it. You don't need anything more. It'll work with just that little bit. That's it. And it'll also save you money because you're using less product. The products that you wear underneath really matter. Like if you are someone that uses like a sandwich method, which is what I do, I put a moisturizer down, let it dry, put the tretinoin down, let it dry, and then put another moisturizer on top of it. I do the sandwich method to reduce irritation, but I didn't realize that it actually matters what moisturizer you're putting underneath. Not so much on the top, I guess it does, but more so what you're putting underneath the tretinoin, because some ingredients make it a little bit more like potent, I guess, or can cause more irritation to your skin. So when I first started out, I would just put, I think I was using the CeraVe moisturizer or something, or maybe the Target version of that, I can't remember. I would put that down and then put my Tretinoin on top of it, and I didn't have any irritations to it. I think I was also using the Vanny Cream moisturizer. It was a very like thick moisturizer and I really liked that one, and I didn't have any issues with that at all. Now, for some reason, everybody was all on like the slugging train and I fell for it, and I was like, let me slug too. And this product kept coming up, the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. And I started using it on my off nights when I wasn't using a Tretinoin, and it worked fine for me. I feel like it was a really great way to seal everything in for people who don't like to just seal everything in with the Vaseline if you're slugging. I liked using it on my off days. And then I started using it on my days that I used Tretinoin. And that was a big mistake because I don't know what's in here. I'm not a scientist or a dermatologist, whatever, I don't know. But for my skin, I found that the days that I would put this on as my first layer and then put the Tretinoin on top of it, I experienced literally the worst irritations that I've ever had with this entire like Tretinoin experience. I mean, Tretinoin, I feel like in general does cause irritation for people, but if you are finding that you're experiencing way more irritation than you think is like normal, maybe try switching the moisturizer or balm, whatever you put on as your first layer, to see if there's a change there. Because for me, I can't use this underneath and then put Tretinoin on top. I can't handle it. So whatever you're wearing underneath does matter. And then my last tip, which I think everybody already knows this, but it's to build slowly. Most of the time with Tretinoin, you need a prescription. I think all of the time in the States. You need a prescription, so your doctor should be the one that like knows to do this. But if they don't for some reason, I would recommend building up your percentage if possible. And then if not, if you're like me and your doctor just straight up prescribes you a 0.1% from the start, then like start out using it like once a week and then see how your skin tolerates it, then add twice a week, see how it tolerates it 3 times a week, and build from there. I think because I added it in very slowly when I started out, I think I experienced a lot less irritation than most people did. I still experienced like the purging and stuff and minor, like very, very, very minor peeling. But I've seen videos where people peel like crazy, and yes, it depends on your skin and how it tolerates it, but I think a lot of it also has to do with how much people are using and how often they're using it. So this is a marathon. It's not a sprint when it comes to Tretinoin, because some people use Tretinoin for years and years and years. So what's the point of you like just jumping in and doing it every single day from the beginning? So those are all the things that I've learned with Tretinoin and some of my tips to avoid some irritation. If you have any other tips for people, make sure you leave them down in the comment section, share the knowledge, and that'll be all for today's video. I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye!